living the family dynamic. Mother, father, children who become grands, you know what I mean, to our children's children. And even children that aren't ours by blood. Because we do those type of things. Right? Just being family. You know what I mean? We raise other people's children to the best of our abilities. Right? But we do it without the government, without words like custody, because custody, that's a corporate term. You know what I mean? Because you could be messing around with the Virginia Beach jail system and be in their custody. And then you can be in there and become a custodian, right? Corporate terms. Not so in the natural family, right? These corporations will have you in court, giving the custody of your children to them. Think about that shit. All that so-called child support and divorce court. Child support is not called child support. This shit is a Title 4D of the Social Security Act. A corporate law. But we don't make the distinguishment between the two. Right? It's one thing, you know what I mean, when you're out here and you're raising up people, children, because their parents might be on bad times or whatever their story might be that brings them into your life. It's another thing when you're talking about petitioning and asking a corporation to grant you something that nature already gave you. Right? And this is how they've been messing around and destroying the family dynamic. Right? It's like giving your children to McDonald's. You know what I mean? Which in a way, if they ever become employees at McDonald's, they, they just hide the shit well, but it's the same old employment. You know what I mean? Which is what they try to lump under slavery because they want to avoid kidnapping, abduction, rape, murder. They want to, they want to stay away from terms like that. But that's what these corporations did in their great business ventures. Right? They came, displaced the people, took control of the resources. You know the story. You can read it. You know what I mean? But it's the same corporation that has destroyed the family dynamic. Right? To where there is no respect for the living souls. More respect goes to the corporation, dead bodies. More respect goes to the corpse than the living souls. But question was asked. You know what I mean? You have a child with a woman who already has a child that's young, right? So you in a relationship with the woman and the child, right? And you start raising that child up, right? And then you have a child with a woman, right? And y'all have now, a family. So now you got 2 children in that relationship. But then the relationship goes sour, right? Now, you're falling out. Everybody angry. And now you still got 2 children in the mix of that, right? You got your blood child, and you got, a child with this woman in a relationship, and now the relationship is going bad. And you've been, raising her child, which is someone else's child, as your own. Because, that's what you're naturally inclined to do. Hopefully. Right? So, now you bring the corporations in the courts, or the court is the corporation. You bring them into the mix, and they start handing out, documents and orders and shit. And remember, a man can't tell another man what to do, right? Only, corporations that you make contracts with, right? So they get in the mix and they start talking the custody stuff, all right? And now you wind up, with custody of your blood child, according to the court. But, it's your child, your seed, And then you got the other child, which isn't your child, but you've been raising the child, and the child, sees you as a father figure, though y'all might not be blood bound, right? And you in a crazy relationship, and you don't know what to do about it. Because, you got 2 minds. You got a corporate mind, and then you got your natural mind. And your natural mind, is doing what it does by nature. Raising children. As you fruitful and multiplying. So, can't come to no agreement, because volatile situation. Children still in the mix. Right? But it's a problem, on your whole family. That's what you're saying. That's how volatile the relationship is. So you don't know what to do. You got both the children, your child, and the child that's not yours, because the mother is in a bad way. Right? And then you got your own issues, that you deal with, that make it hard for other people to deal with you, because you said you you're just angry at the situation. That's understandable. cold truth is, you know what I mean, we put ourselves in these situations. You know what I mean? And then get these children mixed up in the midst of it. You know what I mean? But you gotta look out for the children first. You know what I mean? And that requires you to become a different type of person. You know what I mean? You gotta take on that role. You know what I mean? And realize that since, you know what I mean, they are children, they watching everything that you do. They listening to everything that you say. You know what I mean? And they gonna try to pattern themselves after what you show them. So you need to set a good example. It's all right, you know what I mean, to raise children that aren't yours by blood if that's what the situation calls for. But make sure you raising them, you know what I mean, and not lowering them. You know what I mean? Teach them all that you can teach them in the best way that you can teach them. Always remembering that they children like you once were. I can relate to the situation and the question because my own life mirrors it. But it wasn't no volatile energy, like, you know what I mean? So that means that's one thing that needs to be removed, you know what I mean, from the presence of the children. Always try to put forth positivity. And if you got to do something, you know what I mean, negative, or you know what I mean, things get heated around you, take it away and from out of the presence of the children. That's my advice. You know what I mean? The answer to your question is, yeah, like I said, it's cool to raise other people's children. If that's what the situation calls for. Right? We've been doing it since, you know what I mean, we came into this earth plane, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Putting on these roles and titles. You know what I mean? Child, adult or man, father or mother, and then you watch your children's children. That's another thing. I mean, we was always, you know what I mean, around with grandma, you know what I mean, because the situation called for it, right? Because we working in this corporate world, and it's taking up a lot of our time. I ain't gonna hold you though. Just, if the situation calls for you to raise somebody else's children, you know what I mean, be able to. You know what I mean? Use your best abilities. And if it's people that's helping you, you know what I mean, with the situation, be, you know what I mean, respectful of them too. You know what I mean? That's what I learned, you know what I mean, living that situation.